Hello, this is Cox, video number 1. What are we going to talk about? I don't know what to talk about. Right, so recently I've been on my travels. I've been busking on the continent in Europe. As I come from England, I have been travelling on mainland Europe, France, Italy, Monaco. So, I first of all travelled from Retford to London, then from London to Portsmouth, then from Portsmouth I got the ferry down to Caen, I think it's called C-A-E-N in France. So, I've been using trains to get to places and ferries. I was busking in Caen, and then from Caen I went to Rennes, which there was a bit of strife there, a bit of some strikes. Trying to think now. Yeah, because I was busking, and to cut a long story short, as I was busking, 2 van loads of riot police set up next to me. The shields were faced away from me, so I thought, I'm protected here. So I carried on busking for a little bit longer, and then 2 more vans come full of riot police, and the cafes were pulling the chairs in, taking them inside. And so I wondered what was going on, because I had not got a clue. And it turned out it was strike action, and there was protests for, I'm trying to think of what it was, public sector workers. So, as is typical of this day and age, the weak and the poor, the people with the less money are getting money taken off them. That's the case in this country with austerity measures. And it looks like that sort of thing in France. I don't know. I don't speak French, but that's what it looked like to me. Anyway, so I'm there busking away, and this photographer come up, and I've got riot police behind me, and she takes a photo of me. So what's happened to that photo, I don't know. Maybe I'm in a newspaper somewhere. So then I packed up. It got a bit difficult to busk under those situations. So I went off to find another place to busk. And in Rennes I found a place that was an entrance to a shopping mall. I don't know what shopping mall it was. Then there was cafes around it, so there's people sat outside. And I just set up, and I thought, a bit audacious, but I thought I'm gonna do my stuff here, and I started playing, and it went down well. I got some good responses from people, and I got a bit of money, not a lot, not a vast amount. You don't get a lot of money busking, but it's something, and it was an enjoyable experience in Rennes. It was quite a nice city. It was down to earth, and it was my sort of city. I could busk in that sort of city, and it was okay. I enjoyed it. The next city I went to in France from Rennes was Nantes, Nantes, Nantes. And when I got there, I found it difficult to get a hotel, and then I gave up in the end, and I ended up sleeping on a park bench, which was a bit awkward, because about 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a young lass and a young lad trying to find a place to shag, and laid on this bench. Bit awkward, but anyway, it was cold and all. I was sleeping with my guitar on top of me, trying to keep as much warmth in as possible. So I don't know. So anyway, I stayed out all night in Nantes, cold, and in the morning, the train station was the first place open. So I went there and I got a nice hot chocolate, warmed myself up, and I waited till about 10 o'clock's about the best time to go busking, well, the earliest time that you can really start busking. So it'd be about 10 o'clock and I started busking somewhere in Nantes. There's a lot of delivery lorries, a bit noisy, but I still managed to get a good session in, and it was quite good because there's some good interaction. There's some people, French people, it was a struggle because I don't know French, but they were talking to me, and it was okay talking about music. They was interested. There was a lass who played guitar, and she was asking me about things, and I was demonstrating things. I was playing songs on guitar and that, so he was asking me to play these songs. And then this bloke come up and he had a chat with me at the same time as well. And another lad come up asking me about busking, like, is it illegal? You know, and I says, well, I've never had any problems. I recommended doing a bit of busking. It's all good fun, great fun. And so it was 3 people that I was chatting to in Nantes. They were very friendly, very good, and basically it was a good session, considering that I probably had about an hour's sleep that night. You know, it was quite a good session. I ended up demonstrating some songs in French. Although I can't speak French, I have taken the time and the effort to learn some songs in French, although I don't know what I'm singing. It's like in parrot fashion. I'm singing these words, I don't know what they mean. But so there's a couple of songs that I sang in French, and I don't know what they thought. A strange French accent coming from me, maybe, I don't know. Strange accent coming from me in my strange French version of songs. I did Nights in White Satin, a French language version, Nights in White Satin, and I did another one. I can't remember what it's called now. Sealed with a Kiss. That's an old song. It was redone in the 80s by Jason Donovan. So I did them in French. God knows what they thought. I must have had a strange accent singing in French. But that was good, that was good. So the next day after Nantes, where I went to next was Bordeaux. Went to Bordeaux, heading south. So I was originally going to go to Spain, but I'll tell you more about that. So Bordeaux, trying to think now. Yeah, I got a nice. Getting a hotel was priority there because I didn't have a hotel in Nantes. I was like, I felt grufty. I wanted a shower. Oh man, did I ever. So I had a good night's sleep, about 12 hours sleep I think I had. And next day, I think it was a Saturday. And it wasn't, it was Friday I think it was Friday. I'm not sure actually. It was getting towards the weekend anyway. So yeah, I did some busking there, and that was good. I like Bordeaux, down to earth, and some other buskers were watching me and they encouraged me, and it was a good vibe. There's some crazy people drinking, some crazy crowds there, but overall it was good. Then from Bordeaux I went to, where did I go now? Toulouse. Toulouse was the next place, and it was weekend, and I stayed there for 2 days. And the busking that I did, I didn't stand up giving it. I was sat down, relaxed, and just on this seat, and I sat down busking, relaxed, and I did that Saturday and Sunday, and I got very good hotel. It was a bit of advertising. It was Ibis budget, Very nice hotel and cheap. I recommend it. Ibis budget in Toulouse. It was a little walk away. So Toulouse was a nice place, down to earth, and it's towards the south of France, and it is nice and warm. Yeah, even early April, it's nice and warm. Because I set off, it was when I set off for this journey, it was 29th of March, so and I got back on the 7th of April. So, but anyway, I digress. I was going to go to Spain, but I was going to go to Barcelona in Spain from Toulouse. But the trouble is, it was it was a coach journey. You couldn't do it by train, and the coach set off nearly midnight, just before midnight, and it got there about 6 in the morning. I really didn't fancy that with my guitar and everything, so I decided to go to Nice and head my way towards Italy. Nice. Oh, lovely train journey through the south of France. Trying to think where you go through. I think it's Marseille, you go through, Saint-Tropez, Cannes, up to Nice. Trying to think what probably some other places which I missed out. But oh, it's a lovely train journey, nice area. But you go to Nice and it's an expensive place. It's not it's not as down to earth. I think there's money there, and I just didn't feel like busking there. There was pedestrian areas, but it was like private. It got that private feel about it. Like if you was going to do some buskings, some security man would say, "No, this is private. You need permission to busk here." That's the feeling that I got, and I just didn't feel like busking. It was just didn't get the vibe. It wasn't as down to earth. And the hotel, to get a cheap hotel, it was grotty, and it smelled. It wasn't. I think it was the drains outside. I don't think it was actually a hotel, but I mean, you wouldn't get away with it in some other cities. But because it's such an expensive, exclusive area, to get such a cheap hotel, it would probably have to be as grotty as that to get one. It was only €42, so in Nice, looking at a lot more expensive, even out of season as early April. So I didn't stay there long, and I got the train to, where did it go? What's it called? Forgotten now. Milan. I have to think about it. It was quite a long train journey, but the train journeys are quite cheap. You could not get the train journeys at that price. I think it was about €70, and it's a 7.5 hour train journey. It's not a fast train, but it's a lovely route going through mountains and by the sea coast, and what a lovely train journey. So you go from Nice up to Genoa, through Monte Carlo, and up to Genoa, and then you go up north, because that's all along the seashore, and then you go up north up to Milan. Well, I got to Milan, and it was the best train station ever. You could imagine like a really nice Roman marble with columns, building with columns. It was solid. It was a lovely building. But Milan, the trouble with Milan is the traffic. It takes over the city. It's just, even the parks there are surrounded by traffic. It's horrendous. And you got scooters on the pavement. Oh man. How I didn't get run over, I don't know. How other people never got run over, I don't know. It is horrendous. And it's not quiet enough to do any busking there. So I was a bit disappointed because that was the second place in a row that I hadn't busked, and I got a hotel, cheap hotel, after wondering about a 1-star hotel. It seems that they're a pretty important thing to know what star a hotel is in Italy, because they've all got them outside, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star is what I saw. Well, I found a 1-star. I thought, 1-star, that's for me. Hey, down to earth, cheap. So that was it. I went there and I was knackered. I had an early night and I just fell asleep. And I had this dream. I had a dream about a song. And it was strange because I had all the lyrics and the chords, and in my dream I went to play this song and I couldn't do it. I was overwhelmed with emotion, and I woke up overwhelmed and I thought, pen, paper, quick, and I wrote this song down. Where Are You Now, the song is called, and all the chords, all the lyrics, I wrote it down. And I thought, this is strange. I wonder if I plagiarised it. I wonder if I heard it somewhere and I've remembered it. But I'm in a foreign country, there's not that much. Well, there is English songs, I guess, but maybe I did hear it. I don't know, but I've claimed it, whether I plagiarised it or not, or whether it's just something that just came to me, I don't know. So Milan, yes, it's got a nice train station, but the traffic is horrendous. So I decided to get back. I've been travelling for a while, and I thought it's about time I was getting back to England. And I was a long way. I was enjoying my train journey, so I thought I'd get the train back. And I got the same train back. I didn't stop at Nice, I went straight through to Marseille. And that was a long train journey. So I think that was a €70 one that was 7.5 hours, I don't know. But the train journeys were a lot cheaper than they are in England, in Britain. So I made my way back to Marseille. And Marseille, I got there late and I thought, it's about 11 o'clock. There I am in Marseille train station. And I'm thinking I want to get to Paris next. And I saw on the screens that there was a train to Paris at 5:15 in the morning. And I thought, what's the point of getting a hotel? I'll have about 5 hours at the most. The train station was open, and it turned out it was open until 1 in the morning. I didn't know that, but I hung around the train station, and 1 o'clock was chucking out time. So at 1 o'clock, I decided to do some busking. 1 o'clock in the morning, as everybody's getting kicked out of the train station, and it was lovely and warm. It was 15 degrees, according to the. In France, they've got pharmacies, and they've got these like signs, light signs, like a cross, and they often tell you the date, the time, and temperature. So I was often knowing what the temperature was, and it was. Bear in mind this was right at the beginning of April, and after 1 o'clock it was 15 degrees. So that's in England. It would have to be a warm, balmy summer to be that temperature, I think. So I was there busking from about 1 o'clock to about 2:30 in the morning. There was a lot of homeless people interacting with me, and it was a good vibe. It was all right. And 2:30, I was getting a bit tired then, so I couldn't really sleep on the benches there. So I went for a walk round. And the amount of rats running around this train station at that time of morning was unbelievable. I'm walking along and these rats were overtaking me with stuff in their mouth. I don't know what. Rats everywhere. And there's homeless people sleeping, you know. I'd be worried about rats running over me. But it was nice and warm. It was a nice warm evening. And at 4 o'clock the train station opened again. The first train was to Paris at 5:15. So, and the ticket office opened at 5 in the morning. So I waited for that, and I got a train from Marseille to Paris. Paris. Oh, I don't know what train station it was in Paris that I went to. I can never remember what it was called. So that was a fast train. It went up to, it didn't quite do 300 kilometers an hour, because it was a double decker train. I was on top deck, and it tell you the speed of the train as we're going along, and they're usually travelling between about 200 kilometers to 300 kilometers an hour, which is about between 120 miles an hour to 180 miles an hour. So we're shifting, and yeah, it's a lovely journey, excellent. So yeah, I was watching the speed, and it got to 299 kilometers an hour, but it never actually reached the 300. So I think there might have been limited or something. But so I got to Paris anyway, and it turned out that the next stage I wanted to go to London, to St Pancras, London, and the train station was not the train station that I needed to go for. I needed to go from Nord, Paris Nord, and the train station that I was at, I can never remember what it's called, but it was a different train station, and it was about an hour's walk through Paris. So I had to work out how to get from one train station to another. I got past the Bastille, and I got there, and I got my ticket to go to London, and I was trying to check through, and I just missed it. I just missed the train. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning train. So I had to go back to the ticket office and sort my ticket out for the next train, which was at 11. So they tend to be running about every hour from Paris to London, it appeared. I suppose two big cities like that, there's a lot of transfer of people, and so that's the train that I got. It's quite expensive, €236. I think that's the most expensive train journey, but that was a fast one. That was about 300 kilometers an hour through the Channel Tunnel, under the Channel Sea, and to St Pancras. And so I went to King's Cross from St Pancras, which is just across the road, which is a lot better than Paris. So there's one thing London's got over Paris: train stations are set up a little bit better. So I went from King's Cross to Retford, and then when I got to Retford, I went caught a bus at 4 o'clock, and I got to Ollerton. I got home by 5 o'clock, you know. So this was Thursday. What day? It was Thursday the 7th of April. And that morning at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'd been busking outside Marseille in the south of France. And at 5 o'clock, tea time, I was back home, north of England. But France is an hour ahead, so it was really, you know, I had an extra hour in there to travel. So that was my journey. That was I think it was about 10 days travelling, busking and travelling, starting off from Retford. I was busking in Retford when I started off on the 29th of March. And that is my travel story on 2016. AD, the International Busker. That's it. That's all I have to say. Adios, amigos.